Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics to get more people playing your indie game. You are listening to the Indie Game Marketing School with your instructors, Daniel Doan and Tony Chan.
For this episode, we're going to talk about, is it a good time to start a podcast? Which is, of course, I'm a good expert in, and Daniel's into it as well. So, Daniel, is it a good time?
So I think the market for podcasts is kind of a toss-up right now because, it's easier and easier for people to start podcasts. But at the same time, the number of quality podcasts is actually very few. I've personally searched the entire internet for marketing podcasts, and honestly, like a lot of them are horrible. So basically, like if I was like a full-time game developer, I think that having a podcast, like just having a podcast out there is good because, it's good branding, and if you're providing good value to other people, then, they're more likely to tune in, right? But on the flip side, it's very easy to make like a crappy podcast that no one listens to. But honestly, that can be said, just about almost every creative endeavor. So I think that if you're willing to put in the time and effort to make it good, and if your content's actually good, and if you have a solid marketing strategy behind it, then it's a great way to build that brand using a podcast. Yeah,
it's trending. Like Daniel's right when they're saying there are a lot of people that's trying to start a podcast now, but the quality can be bad. Like the audio just sounds horrible, or the person's not consistent with the content. So if you're a person that could keep consistent with the content and create great audio, you could find success in a podcast, and it's great brand building. Like you could constantly talk about your game. You could talk about what your company's doing. Like if you consistently put out content in it, your audience will grow. As I can see with my own podcast on Game.Loadout, like it's slowly increasing, and it takes time. Like podcast, it grows slowly, but over time, once you build up that audience, like just imagine you're talking to a classroom of 100 people, then 110 people, then 150 people. Like people are taking their time to listen to your podcast, and if they're giving you your time, they're most likely, when your game comes out, they would be really interested in purchasing your game. So you're building up that brand name for sure. And it doesn't even cost a lot. Like there's free tools like Anchor where you just speak into the phone and boom, your podcast is whatever you just talked about. Like it's easy. It's really cheap, and yeah, don't hesitate or don't wait. Just get started. Build up that podcast, build up that brand name, and get started. Anything else you want to add, Daniel?
So it's all about building that, connection with the listener. I mean, honestly, sometimes, I'd be like eating lunch or something and then I'd listen to Game Dev Loadout, which is Tony's podcast. And, it's like I'm hanging out with Tony and his guests, but I'm not actually there, but I feel, connected to both Tony and his guests, which is like kind of crazy because I'm just listening to like an audio recording on my phone. But yeah, so I feel like podcasts like really bridge that gap between, like just like seeing someone on social media and actually getting to know that person via their voice.
Definitely. So yeah, get started. And yes, it is a great time to start a podcast. So get to it. I'm Tony Chan from Game Dev Loadout.
And I'm Dan Dunn from Blackstraw Media.
This session of Indie Game Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for daily marketing strategies to help you find the fan base your game deserves. Don't forget to rate and review the show so we can bring you more valuable content. Until then, keep pushing forward. We'll see you on the next episode.